Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Lemmon.
Hang on. I'm not getting anything. Hiya, Waltz. How you holding up? Hello, Carol. My dear friend, Walter Matthau, and I have had an awful lot of wonderful, wonderful memories. However, tonight I'd like to share one of those memories with you. It's not quite so wonderful. It was anything but. However, it really shows that no matter what the circumstances, that man really thinks funny. And now every word of this is a true story. What was it, 11, 12 years ago, we were doing Buddy Buddy, a picture together. There was a scene in it in which we're supposed to run down the hall, second or third floor of a small hotel. We're running from somebody. Walter spots a laundry chute, and one after another, we go in the laundry chute, feet first, right down to the basement. Okay? Fine. Billy Wilder builds a set. It's a couple of stories tall on the soundstage. We're going to shoot the scene where we got into the chute right after lunch. We come back from lunch a little bit early. There's just a couple of the stagehands and grips around, that's all. And we notice that they have put this huge platform that's supposed to go under to catch us, with the mattresses on top, about 12 feet high altogether, 13 maybe, under the chute. So Walter says, let's go up and take a look at that sucker. So we go upstairs and we look at it, and Walter says, you think we ought to try that thing? I said, go ahead. He says, okay. So he goes in feet first, out he comes. They had neglected to tell us that the platform was not in position. God's truth. Now, what's not so funny, Walter just barely hit on his tush on the mattresses and rolled backwards and straight down, head first, hitting it on the way a little bit, but he went all the way straight down to the solid stage, about 12 or 13 feet. To this day, so help me, I do not know what happened in that next split second. I know that I was the first one there. I was beside him, that's all. I don't know how I got there. And his head was at a terrible angle on his shoulder. I thought his back and his neck were broken. He was, amazingly enough, conscious. He was not unconscious. And he was moaning in terrible pain, and in between the moans, he just kept saying, I'm going. This is it. And he had his hand on his heart. I'm dying. I am dying. I didn't know what to do. I was afraid to move him. I didn't know if his neck was really broken or what. And he kept moaning and saying, I'm dying, I'm dying. I could think of nothing else. I took my jacket off, and very gently I slid it under his head. And I said, Walter, are you comfortable? He said, I make a living. The man thought he was dying, but he heard a straight line. Boom! You have to give the punch. It's incredible. At any rate, here are some more glimpses into the many, many ways that Walter Matthau makes a living.
So you look for the thrill someplace else.
When we think of Walter Matthau, this isn't exactly how we picture him. But like many accomplished actors, Walter got his start on the Broadway stage in the early 50s, doing mostly dramatic roles. He also did live television performances for shows like the Alcoa Hour and the Goodyear Television Playhouse. While he was on Broadway, though, a Hollywood casting director discovered Walter's comedic flair and cast him as a bookie for a crime syndicate in his first comedy movie, Who's Got the Action?
Well, I ain't suggesting anything.
How?
But like it would help if we were married.
Now listen, honey. I'm a guy who deals in numbers and averages. My whole life I spend trying to beat the price. The day that marriage becomes a good bet, I get in touch with you. Keep rubbing.
A great period of time for Walter was the mid-60s, when he won a Tony Award for his role as Oscar Madison in The Odd Couple. And speaking of Oscars, he won the Academy Award for his role as the scheming lawyer in the first movie we did together, The Fortune Cookie.
What are you trying to pull? I'm perfectly all right.
There's one thing I hate is a patient who makes his own diagnosis.
This is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with me.
That's what you think. Not only can't you move your hand and your leg, but you had this concussion. So now you got a ringing in your ears and double vision.
Double vision.
How many me do you see?
One. One cheap, chiseling shyster lawyer who, of all people, had to marry my sister.
Nice talk. I'm handing you $250,000 on a silver platter.
Don't want the money. Don't want the silver platter. I just...
What's the matter? You feel sorry for insurance companies? They got so much money, they don't know what to do with it. They've run out of storage space. They have to microfilm it. What's $250,000 of them? They take it out of petty cash.
Walter has made over 50 feature films, and here are just a few of the 1,000 reasons why he belongs in the Comedy Hall of Fame.
Oscar, what is it? Is it the cooking, or the cleaning, the crying?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the cooking, the cleaning, the crying. It's the talking in your sleep. It's those moose calls that open your ears at 2 o'clock in the morning. Can't take it anymore, Felix. I'm cracking up. Everything you do irritates me. And when you're not here, the things I know you're going to do when you come in irritate me. You leave me little notes on my pillow. Told you 158 times I cannot stand little notes on my pillow. We are all out of cornflakes, F.U. Took me 3 hours to figure out that F.U. was Felix Unger. Tony, everything's going to be all right. I am going to make it up to you.
Oh, sure, you'll take me away for another fun-filled weekend at some motel.
No more weekends and no more motels, Tony. I'm going to marry you.
How do you mean marry?
You know, marry with the judge, the blood test, the license, that kind of marry, right away.
Well, what about your wife?
My wife, I'll divorce her.
What about the children?
I'll divorce them, too.
You know what you are? You're senile. You know what senile is? I'm not giving you any straight line. Get away! Get away from that phone! Lunatic. Hello? How are you? What? Is that my daughter? Will you shut up? Is that my daughter? Will you keep quiet? Can't you see I'm talking? Don't you see me on the phone with a person? For God's sake, will you behave like a human being for 5 seconds? For 5 seconds, behave like a human being! Hello? Just a minute. Your daughter.
He's gonna take the picture! Could you wait? Hey, my uniform's too small.
Shut up.
You are a coward. You're afraid to stand up to Willoughby, and you don't have the courage to stand by me.
Courage! Oh, no, that I do not accept. I am a surgeon, lady. Have you forgotten? Every day we cut people open from their sternum to their zats. We take out kidneys, gallbladders, lungs, great big loops of intestines. We build new rectums. You call that cowardly?
You are consumed with fear. All you so-called doctors, fear and greed. Greed!
Find someone who's pure enough for you. It won't be easy now that Albert Schweitzer is dead, and St. Francis of Assisi, I hear, isn't too well either.
Up yours, mister!
Same to you, with earlaps.
The combination Sherlock.
Ha! You're the last person in the world I tell that to.
You got it wrote down someplace?
It's in my head.
What's that mean?
It means I know it. I remember it.
What about you forget it?
I won't forget it. It's a familiar number. I won't forget it.
What's that mean?
It means it's a number that I use all the time, so I won't forget it. I use it all the time.
I bet I know what it is.
I doubt that.
I bet it's your address.
Now, what the hell has gotten into you? You stole her, didn't you? What? She's mine.
Oh, says who?
Says me.
Yeah, well, she came to me.
Bull, you're trying to steal her away just like you did May.
Oh, for God's sake, can I remind you, Einstein, May was no prize.
She was to me.
I was married to the woman 20 years. She was no prize.
She was to me.
Yeah, well, that's why you're a moron. If you'd ended up with May, you never would have had Amy. And Amy was a good woman.
She was
one
the best.
Damn sight more loyal than May ever was.
Absolutely.
So?
So what?
Huh?
What? So?
What?
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 So, well, did you?
What?
You know.
Oh, hey, that's a private.
Private my foot.
I
Did
can
you?
only- That's all I can tell you.
You better tell me.
All right, we did the horizontal mambo. We danced it. It was the greatest sex I ever had in my life. All right, you happy?
You